All right, so got a lunch break here. Trying to work my way, with this message in between, work early this morning. I gave you the first half. Now I just want to wrap up a couple of minutes. Every detail counts as far as Mars entering into Aries. Now, another important point that I like to make for us to think about, consider, weigh, and prepare ourselves within is that when Mars enters the 0 degree, Mars is going to take action and assert a solution that's been contemplated on during his 2-month transit through Pisces. He's been contemplating on taking an action, but it's been too foggy. There's been a lot of fear, anxiety, confusion. There's been apprehension and procrastination. There's been many factors that had us to feel like we were impaired, to take action and unable to take action, or not quite ready, not sure, not certain where to cut or what to measure. And so at the 0 degree, it's like Mars suddenly gets his confidence and clarity back. It's like it's like early in the morning. You're walking around and you still feel, sleepy, and you get your shower, you do your thing, you walk around a little bit, you had your cup of coffee, now, your thoughts can come a little clearer to you, your blood gets running. So at that 0 degree, what Mars is looking at is what were the finishing minutes and details from the Neptune and Saturn conjunction. What were those finishing details? In other words, there's a vision that you had of having a new beginning in your life, but there's something in the way. There's a problem that's been in the way. And the problem that's been away, it carries along with it a legacy or patterns, a trend of procrastination, a trend of escapism, a trend of fear, a trend of shame, guilt, all of the factors or some of the factors that seem to have put you in a bind to where it's confusing and how you're going to move forward or how you're going to untie yourself out of, a bind that seems to be limiting you with what you're able to do to feel fully empowered in your identity. This introduces us to what we are going to do about it. And that is, if for the last 11 to 14 years, something has built up, continued to build up, of patterns through that Pisces transit that now requires us to take, responsible, decisive approach to the problem. The procrastination is over, the waiting is over, and now it's time to nip it in the bud. It's time to face it. It's time to deal with it. It's time to confront it. That is what this is about. It's a confrontation with what has been lingering as an issue, as a problem that's been unresolved, unsolved, and we're finally going to assert ourselves into a solution-based confrontation. For some people, this could be having the hard conversations that you've been walking around. For some people, this could be cutting the cord or dealing with certain paperwork, business deadlines that's been building up. Consequences, consequences could be knocking at the door for something that we have been avoiding, and now it comes to face us. It's now making a demand that we act responsibly to the situation. So this is where responsibility, accountability, consequence meets us with a fresh burst of courage, assertive energy, and a willingness to fight for a better outcome. You know what this issue is, okay? Even as I'm speaking about it, it's certain that you know what this issue is. It's been overwhelming, all right? And yes, the time is here now where you're going to deal with it. You're going to take care of the matter. This is not a scare, but it's to let you know that it's not going to be an overnight thing, but you are about to initiate this solution that you've been walking in circles about for a long time. You've been walking around it. You've been saying, I got to do that. I have to get this done, or I have to get that done. I have to take this action. I have to take that action. And what's the nature of that action? It's of your Pisces house placement. What's going on in your Pisces placement, okay? That house or that cusp where you have Pisces, that's the theme or the nature of the thing that needs to be dealt with. Saturn was showing it to you over and over again, all right? Neptune had you in a loop of confusion around it for a long time. And now reality sets in that it's time to take responsibility and command of my identity, my status, my life situation, what I wanted, what I want out of it, what I want it to become. And I've got to find the courage, because the courage is here now for me to finally solve this problem. And it starts with throwing the first punch, it starts with, taking the first shot. And this is where that time is now. All right. So that's just to give you the heads up with that. You should feel good about it, because at least now it's uphill from here. It's uphill from here.